Look at the size of the natural cave created as more and more water through the years came out. When the young state of Israel was born, the estimated annual amount of water coming out was 4.5 million, which is one of the largest springs actually in the entire country. 1.5 million cubical meter of water a year. And during the time, unfortunately, this limestone mountain was covered with more and more structures and more trees planted by the Jewish National Fund and houses later on several parts. Therefore, the amount of water going into the mountain and eventually out of the mountain through the spring is now much smaller. And still, Gideon Spring is the most impressive one in the entire area.
And this water comes right out of the cave there, right out of the mountain, freshwater spring. And so the Midianites were attacking. God called Gideon. God saw that Gideon was brave and unafraid himself. He was threshing wheat in the wine press, wherever he could hide it. If he went to the threshing field, they would find him there, so he brought it to the wine press, threshing the wheat there. And an angel came and spoke to him and called him and said he was going to be used to deliver God's people. He was fearful. He goes through a challenge with God. If you're really calling me, I'll put this piece of wool out, and if it's dry in the morning and wet on the ground, or maybe the opposite way around, I forget, and then I know you're calling me.
Very Jewish of him, you know,
Yeah.
to ask for his own signs again and again.
Yes, and God gives it to him exactly as he asked for it. And then the next morning he sees it, and Gideon says, well, how about 2 out of 3, God? Let's do it the opposite way. Make the wool wet and the ground all dry. And so the next morning it comes out exactly as he prayed. And so then he had enough boldness to gather the army, gathers a large army. God says, that's too many. Tell the fearful ones to go home.
Motivation test.
Motivation, yeah, if you're fearful, go home. And most of them go home.
And who does that, right?
Yeah, that's right. What army would...
More than half of the army just dissolves immediately. They were afraid for a reason.
Yeah.
The enemy was strong.
They were stronger, more men, more ammunition, more powerful. And so God says, you still got too many. And so Gideon brings the men down to this area right here, this stream. This is the very stream coming right out of the mountain. This is the water. This is the location. And I'm going to need your help for this one.
Sure.
As they come down to the stream to get some water, some of the men
naturally put down their arms and their equipment and started drinking.
and others
Like I'm doing now.
quickly, ready to go. That was delicious.
Yeah, and you're
Quickly.
ready to war now.
Ready to go. And only 300 drank the water and were ready to battle. They didn't want to waste time. Didn't, like you say, they had a shofar, they had their jar with the lamp hidden in it, or whatever other
Flaming torch.
the flaming torch and whatever other equipment they might have been carrying. They were ready to go. The others put it down and just leisurely at a park. God said, choose the ones who are ready. 300 only.
300.
And miraculously, God wins the battle. They go charging at the enemy at night, blowing the shofars, break open the jar of the lamp, so the lamps are burning, and the shofars are sounding. It scares the Midianites.
Exactly.
They're all in confusion. God gives Gideon the victory.
When I was in officer training school, 2000, the year was 2000, they still taught us about this battle. Because you go for the morality of your enemy, rather than seek a frontline confrontation. It works till this very day.